So the first question is, what led you to yoga?
The short answer would be insanity. Teenage angst, being having to be at a library to do a term paper for something I had no interest in, and catching a vision of B.K.S. Iyengar's Light on Yoga, the concise Light on Yoga back then, and I proceeded to check that book out repeatedly until my name was the only name on the front and the back of the library card, and the librarian said, "Honey, you need to buy this book." And I would lock myself in my my room,
Right.
Which, to my mother's dismay, I painted yellow because I wanted, this brightness in my life, and I painted my room yellow. So I'd lock myself in my yellow room, put on my Pink Floyd music, flip randomly through Light on Yoga, and just work myself into these yoga postures.
Wow.
And I got amazing relief from this, and it was helpful as an athlete, to be able to get more flexible and to get stronger. But I never really extracted the beauty of the book until much later in my life. Yeah.
Right. What you want me asking? Like, what sports did you play?
I was a gymnast.
Oh, okay.
Which is one of the reasons why yoga made so much sense to me, and it felt so liberating. I remember one of my first guided yoga practices in a class, because I did it on my own for so many. I taught myself so much. Richard Freeman VHS.
Let's go back to VHS.
Yeah, let's go back that way. I did the Richard Freeman Primary Series VHS almost daily. I'm going to say 5 times a week for about 2 straight years. And when I finally flew to Colorado and to work with Richard Freeman, I cried. I cried because I remember feeling like, wow, this is the beauty of movement, movement that's full of awareness, but you're not going to get judged on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be waiting at the end to see, okay, who's going to give what
That's
score
nice.
somebody.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a gymnast, and then I hurt my ankle, and actually, as for rehab, I ended up dancing, and I became a dancer for the longest time, which then made sense to go deeper into yoga. Next question is, what is your niche?
I think my personal niche is the fact that I've had a lot of life experiences, a lot of interesting life experiences. So, as a former athlete, I had a lot of injuries. As a hospice volunteer for almost 10 years, I had a lot of great and amazing, spiritual experiences through that.
I can bet.
Yeah, I did about a year with the Child Abuse Prevention Program in Westchester as a volunteer. And just generally speaking, my life has been, my path has had a lot of rocks and boulders and, to go around or climb over. And I think that has led me to, I'm more aware of knee injuries because I've had one. I'm more aware of people with herniated discs because of gymnastics. I have them. Yeah, and, and when my MRI was reviewed by an orthopedic surgeon about 4 years ago, he said, it was 3 pages long. And, numerous herniations, none of which were from yoga, but were from, these injuries, a broken tailbone. That I know when it happened, but I didn't know why I had so much tailbone pain through my life. So to look at this MRI and have this orthopedic say, whatever you're doing, keep doing.
Right.
Keep doing it because, that MRI, if you would read it, you think you're reading an MRI of somebody who's not able to even walk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, so my niche is probably that I have figured out how to modify yoga for any condition because I've had almost all of them.
Right. Yeah, I have 2 herniated discs. They wanted to do surgery, and then I had one doctor pull me aside and said, see a chiropractor. And then I went to the chiropractor and no surgery. And she said, stay with the yoga. So I said, I will.
Yeah. And the other niche-y thing, I guess, would be I really love people. I really do. usually from the first time I talk to somebody on the phone or meet them, I feel, sounds bizarre, my husband used to think I was a weirdo, now he totally accepts it, but you know, I really love people.
Right. Well, that's beautiful, because we need more of you in this awful world. Like, I'm having to explain to, like, my son who's now paying attention, I'm having to explain to him Gaza and what's going on in Ukraine, and it's like, how do I explain this to a 7-year-old? Third question, what makes the light within yoga studio different from other yoga studios?
I have not been able to do the yoga hopping that I used to do, you know. So I don't really know what's, other than maybe the 5 or 6 studios that I visited in the last, you know, couple of years, because I'm so busy here.
Right.
But I tend to feel like a warm and welcome feeling in any studio I go to.
Right.
For the most part. I think because we have no there's nothing frilly or pretentious about the space. It's what you see is what you get. And
right.
The teachers are all people who, most of us have another job that we work full time, but we so love our yoga practice that we're dedicated to yoga.
That's good. So,
yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm comparing to any other studio.
Right.
I just, you know, I think that if I could find one thing that makes it different, it would be that it's very homey feeling.
Right. Right.
And not fancy.
Well, I love it. It's very welcoming when you come in. It's very welcoming. Good. So, and the last question is, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started your yoga business?
How to be a business person. And how much time it was going to take out of my life. Yeah. You know, because when I opened here, I was part-time adjunct at Westchester, and then literally within the month of opening up my studio here, I was offered full-time.
Oh, wow.
So I've been, you know, juggling full-time teaching with running and cleaning and you know, doing everything with the studio. So how much time it would take, and I think you can not have to know a lot about business, and you will learn along the way if it's really important to you, which is, you know, it would have been nice though to know to have met you in 2004.